Welcome to Wisdom Whispers. Have you ever wondered why English spelling seems so strange? Why time isn't spelled time but sounds the way it does? Or why house and mouse rhyme, but lose and chose don't? The answer lies in one of the most significant and mysterious events in the history of the English language, the Great Vowel Shift. This profound change swept across England between the 15th and 18th centuries, forever altering the way English is spoken. It is the single biggest reason why the sounds of our vowels today are so different from how they were pronounced in the time of Chaucer. So, what exactly was this Great Vowel Shift? Imagine a massive, slow-motion chain reaction affecting all the long vowels in the English language. It wasn't an overnight change, but a gradual, 3-century-long process where the pronunciation of long vowels began to rise higher and higher in the mouth. Think of it like a musical scale. The vowel sound systematically moved up a step. A sound that was once low and open became higher and more closed. For instance, the word feet used to be pronounced more like fate, with an I sound. And the word moon was once pronounced closer to moan. It was a complete reorganization of the English vowel system, a linguistic domino effect that rippled through the language. Let's look at some concrete examples to make this clearer. In Middle English, before the shift, the word we now say is time was pronounced team. The ee sound, as in meat, was the original pronunciation. During the Great Vowel Shift, this ee sound began its journey. First, it transformed into something like the hi in say, then eventually diphthongized into the hi sound we use today. Similarly, the word house was originally pronounced whose, with a long oo sound like in goose. This oo sound also began to change, moving through various stages until it became the thou diphthong we recognize. Another great example is the word name. In Chaucer's time, it would have been pronounced nama, with a long sound, similar to the in a father. Over centuries, this sound shifted upwards to become the I sound we use in name today. This systematic upward movement happened to all the long vowels, creating a completely new soundscape for the language. But this raises a huge question: why did this happen? Historians and linguists have debated this for centuries, and there isn't one simple answer. One leading theory points to major social and demographic changes happening in England at the time. The Black Death in the mid-14th century caused massive population movements. People from different regions of England, with their distinct dialects and accents, began migrating to the southeast, especially to London, the centre of commerce and government. This created a melting pot of accents. In this new, socially mobile environment, a new, more prestigious way of speaking may have emerged among the upper and middle classes. Speaking with these new vowel pronunciations could have become a status symbol, a way to distinguish oneself from the rural or lower classes. As more and more people adopted this new pronunciation to climb the social ladder, it spread throughout the population, solidifying into the new standard. Another contributing factor was the 100 Years' War with France. After the war, anti-French sentiment grew in England, and the English language began to replace French as the language of the court and administration. This newfound national pride in the English language might have spurred its speakers to unconsciously differentiate their pronunciation from French, leading to some of these unique vowel shifts. It was a complex interplay of social mobility, demographics, and national identity that likely fueled this linguistic revolution. Now, here's where it gets really interesting and explains a lot about modern English spelling. The Great Vowel Shift was happening at the exact same time as another revolutionary invention was taking hold: the printing press, introduced to England by William Caxton in 1476. The printing press began to standardize English spelling. Printers, often from the European continent, made decisions about how words should be spelled based on how they were written in manuscripts that reflected the **old** pre-shift pronunciations. So, while the sounds of words were continuing their slow, relentless shift, their spellings were getting locked into place by the press. The word night, for example, was spelled that way because the K and GH were once pronounced. But while pronunciation moved on, the spelling stayed behind, frozen in time. This created a major disconnect between how a word is written and how it is said. We were left with a 15th century spelling system trying to represent an 18th century sound system. This is the fundamental reason English spelling is notoriously inconsistent and often feels illogical. We're essentially reading Middle English spellings with modern English pronunciations. The impact of the Great Vowel Shift is everywhere in the English we speak today. It's the reason why the letter a has different sounds in mat and mate, or why I sounds different in bit and bite. The long vowel sounds in words like mate and bite are direct products of the shift. This historical event shaped not just British English, but all its descendants around the globe. American, Australian, Canadian, and other global Englishes all inherited this post-shift vowel system. While accents have continued to diverge, the foundational changes of the Great Vowel Shift unite all major dialects of modern English. It created a common starting point from which all subsequent variations have evolved. So, the next time you stumble over an English spelling or wonder why boot and foot are spelled similarly but sound so different, you can thank the Great Vowel Shift. It's a fascinating reminder that language is not a static set of rules, but a living, breathing entity, constantly evolving and shaped by the currents of human history, society, and migration. It tells a story of change, of social aspiration, and of the incredible journey our language has taken over the centuries. English is, and always has been, a work in progress. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey through linguistic history, be sure to like and follow for more.